Good morning, team. We are back with Dyson Sphere Program, episode number 4. We are going to be doing a lot of little things today, and hopefully, if we finish in time, I have been very poorly trying to keep under 30 minutes. Hopefully, we'll finish under 30 minutes today, and we will get everything done that we want to get done. First thing we want to do is take advantage of that steel that we just were able to complete the research for. We will add some more research in just a bit. Let's stretch that line out there. We'll come down R3 and draw a line here of belts. One thing that I forgot about this game is you can actually drag a line of buildings, and there's more to that than just dragging a line of buildings. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Let's put some nice little power poles down to keep our things powered. Drop a box here, a depot, excuse me.
Research complete.
And we have fluid storage now. Alright, and we take the steel, our iron ingots in, and that will give us our steel plates coming out. Iron ingots in and steel plates out, and then we want to load all of our steel plates into this depot. Let's change this recipe to steel, and we can use our quick copy and paste, and we should see steel coming through soon. There we go. We now have steel production. Alright, we're going to come back down this way and swing by our mall hub depot thingy and pick up some stuff along the way, because we're going to be using this throughout our episode today.
Research complete.
Alright, our research is completely done, so let's jump in here and add some things. We're going to add our electromagnetic drive, our plasma extract refining, and our energy matrix that we're hoping to get to today. And then the fourth thing we want to add is solar collection. Hopefully we will get to this in the next episode. And then finally, over on upgrades, we want to get Cosmic Exploration Level 2. This lets us see ore reserves in the planetary system, so other planets within our system will be able to see what's on them. Alright, we'll look at that in a little bit. Okay, let's keep grabbing equipment here. Now, one thing we're going to do is we're going to change this one. We should have done this before, and I forgot, but we're going to open it up, let it build more windmills, because we'll end up using a bunch of those.
Research complete.
Grab all of our power poles and another half stack of sorters. Then we're going to actually change this to make electric motors. And we'll explain why in the future. We need electric motors for one of our upgrade researches. They take electromagnetic coils, iron ingots, and gears, and we'll pipe them right out into this box so we can pick them up. And our next step is to clear a little area here so that we can add a couple of assemblers. We will line up with our depots, and we're going to build it right next to our glass. Leave 2 spaces in between and build another one. And we're going to need glass for this one because we want to make prisms. This is one of the new things we just finished research for. So we make prisms in this one, and then in the one next to it we're going to make plasma exciters, which take prisms and electromagnetic coils. So we'll get our coils over here in a few minutes. Let's drop a belt down here and bring it all the way over to our power poles because we're going to need those. Tesla towers. Directly insert our prisms and output our plasma exciters. Let's throw down a power pole so everything's got power. Now, we're going to use let's grab one here. We're going to use a splitter. The splitter comes in 3 different ways. It's this one, which if we get down on the ground level, you can see it's just a regular splitter. You go in and come out in any which way you need to. If you press tab, it will change, and if we go down, you can see this splitter is actually stacked. inputs and outputs are stacked on top of each other. Tab one more time, and there's a really cool one that does a split like this, so that your inputs and outputs are one direction on the bottom and they're a different direction on the top. That's actually the one we're going to use. And we're going to come over here. We need to remove a little bit of our belt that does, electromagnetic coils, and then let's make sure we get the right splitter. Oh, we can't use that one. I forgot. No, we can't. So that's okay. We'll use this one. Belts on top of one another because it's narrower. Lets us stay on the same thing. Here comes a
splitter.
Our advisor.
It can split the cargo passing through or manage the cargo on multiple conveyor belts. The splitting speed depends on the conveyor belt speed. Press Tab to switch between different patterns. Click on it to set priorities and filters.
All right, we'll click on it in just a minute. We're going to raise this belt up to start at the top level, and we use our R button to rotate out to the side. And we're going to need to build all the way over and then remove a couple of those. And then we use up arrow again to build our belt up to the sky there, and then down to here. All right, while all that's building, we'll get one more sorter and take it in here. And that will give us the ability to make those plasma exciters. Okay. If we click on this, you can see we're actually on the conveyor. There are multiple different inputs and outputs. We can prioritize them if we wanted to. We can filter them. Lots we can do. We're not going to use any of that yet. We're just going to come over here and we're going to grab some building materials here. And we're also going to come over and grab some more belts. A couple more stacks of belts should get us through today. Then we come all the way back over and grab a handful of steel that we've been making. Just a couple hundred of those. And we'll come land and get some things started building while we work on our next phase. Alright, so we want to build 6 of these labs. We'll use these matrix labs for our red science, our energy matrix build. Then we want 4 tanks. We already have one that we got from our technology research. So we'll do that. We did not get, as you get further into the cube research, you get fewer and fewer items from the build. We didn't get an oil extractor, so we're going to need one of those. And then we want to build, at this time, just 4 of these oil refineries. We'll look at how those work and how we're going to incorporate all of that into what we're doing in just a little bit. For now, let's get this build started with an assembler and a depot. And let's power this particular line of construction, or mall thingies. And we're going to build these wireless power towers. These wireless power towers, we're not going to use them just yet, but we will want them soon in the future. They are valuable because not only do they why aren't we getting any exciters here? Oh, we forgot to put a sorter with the glass going in to make prisms, so we should be able to see prisms going in soon, and that will help actually build plasma exciters. Okay, so these wireless towers, they actually will use the power grid to charge our mecha. And that uses less of our internal power and more of the grid power. So we definitely want to get some of those. There are places where that becomes very, very handy, and we'll talk about that soon, especially as we start traveling to other planets. All right, let's drop off some of this stuff. You can hear the click, click, click in the background of our things being built. And let's pick up some fuel while we're here.
Research complete.
go ahead and fill up our mecha, our Icarus, with fuel, drop off that wood, and then we're going to come clear over here. So for energy science, the energy matrix, we need to get energetic graphene, which we've already made before, and we need hydrogen, which we have not made before. So we are going to need, since we're going to need energetic graphene, we are going to tap into our coal patch over here with a nice big whopping 8 veins covered, and then this one is 7. So that's plenty of coal for us. Build our output line down to here. Again, I think I've mentioned this before. I like leaving a couple of spaces next, because if we get desperate for power and we want to put a ring around the world of extra wind turbines, we can do that here, and it gives us plenty of extra room in between. So let's drop our power pole here, enough to cover if we need to add more miners in the future. And that will give us our area over here to build our smelting array for energetic graphene. Now we're also going to need to build some things down this direction, so I'm going to go ahead and work on clearing that while we're building. So we can just drop our 1
Research.
for now, since we keep moving around. There's our solar power, and we're doing our cosmic.
Data shows there aren't any natural silicone veins on this planet. You can still obtain some silicone by smelting stone ores. In order to collect a large amount of silicone, find a planet with silicone veins as soon as possible.
So we need silicone in order to make our solar panels. That's why he's telling us to find somewhere that makes silicone. We did not go far enough with this one, so let's delete that and try again. So here's what we're going to do. This is what I was talking about this a little bit earlier. There's some cool things that we can do with that click and drag. So let's go ahead and select our recipe for energetic graphene, and then we'll select our inserter sorter to take in and our sorter to take out. Now if we shift left click, we now have a copy of this. We can drag it all the way over, but you guys know I like to leave room in the middle to be able to put the extra power pole. So press tab and it gives us a different design. Now we can't build all the way because we don't have the foundation and we're too close to water there, so we'll just build it that far for now. And we can't put our power pole there either, but we can put 2 power poles here, which will get our graphene started. Now come down here, clear out some of this that's in our way, and we'll grab our matrix labs. We're going to put 1 here on that parallel, and then 1 on that parallel, and then we will put a depot between the 2 of them, and that will cover the red science that we want to make. So we'll go from there all the way down. That's going to be for our hydrogen to come in. Then we're going to need another sorter right here, just so that we can split off a splitter. I keep calling them sorters. I apologize for that. They are splitters. And we're going to build 2 lines to split off to provide the energetic graphene, energetic, that stuff that we just made. Okay, that's going to bother me. Did I call it right? Yeah, energetic graphene. I did call it right. Okay, so now we grab some inserters, sorters, and we take our hydrogen in, and we take our energetic graphene in. And that will make red cubes. They come out into that box, into that depot. Put our hydrogen in from this side for these 3. Now we're building a little bit extra here. This is going to expand eventually to use both of these stacks of sorters, pick our energy matrix, but our initial build is not going to have enough hydrogen to fill both of those with hydrogen enough to make red energy matrix science out of both of them. So let's get our drones working over here, and we'll drop 3 sorters.
Upgrade complete.
And then from over here, we took all of our resources in. We want our red cubes.
Now you can click the
out.
star map button at the bottom left corner of the screen to view the planetary system, or even the whole cluster.
All right, we'll do that in just a minute. We're going to add 2 more of these to the stack so that we have plenty. And I'm going to start some ground clearing for the next phase of what we're going to do. And then, excuse me, we'll need to pick up some research because we are not researching anything right now. And we don't want to be doing that. We've got a lot of research to cover in our game. So we want to cover as much as we can. So let's jump back into the technology menu. And we want to build this technology, this mecha core, but since we're not ready for that yet because we don't have red science, the next thing that we really want to get is, again, we're going to need titanium smelting soon, but the next one for just blue science, just the energy electromagnetic matrix, is reclamation. So we'll start that. It takes 400, so it'll take a while to get done, and we can come back and change that later. So let's finish over here, and we're going to grab our, for some reason we only got 3 refineries. Let's make 1 more refinery while we're looking and thinking about that. Okay, there we go. And we can grab our, did we not make, oh there it is, oil extractor, and drop it here. And we're going to bring our line of oil in, again, staying enough away from the parallel that is crossing the border so that we can build on it if we need to. And then we'll build here for our refinery.
This facility produces various products. To filter its products, you need to configure sorter filter. When building a sorter, press Tab or arrow keys for filter configuration.
All right, we'll look at that in just a minute. What we want to do here is we're going to start at the middle, and we're going to go all the way down, and then on the other side, we're going to start, there's only 2 inserters, so we'll start all the way in, and we'll come down just enough, and we'll come back this other way with this line. Okay. Now, with all of that built, we want to get our sorter to take the oil in.
Replication complete.
And then we're going to take the oil out here, and if you look, you can see, well, let's choose our recipe first. We're going to pick this recipe here, plasma refining. That is the first basic recipe. There's an advanced recipe that we'll use later, but we have to do the research to unlock it first. So we'll pick this one. And again, it takes, if you were looking at it while I was talking, it takes 1 hydrogen, or it takes 2 oil and gives you 1 hydrogen and 2 light oil. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag our sorter over here, and if you look on the side, there's a filter. We can press Tab to filter. So we want our hydrogen coming out on that side, and we want our light oil coming out on the other side. If we zoom in when those are built, you can actually see the sorter item. Now we're going to take advantage of our left shift click, and we're going to drop several more of these in line. We need to remember we need to leave room for the belts, so we need 2 belts in between each one. So I think I left a little too much room on this first one, but that's okay. We've got the room, so we'll build our belts over here. Then this one's going to come all the way over and back across. Come down. Looks like I'll have too much room on all of these. It's okay. We've got the room. Oh, this one's right. Okay. Then we will build our power poles. We want to make sure we're connected. Oh, we didn't connect these guys down here. That's why we're missing power. So nest a pole in those two corners. And then again, we can click and drag, and it's going to put power poles on each of our cross sections, which, because I built poorly, you know what? That's going to bother me. So we're going to tear that down. And we're going to rebuild it. And yes, I know we talked about not having enough time to do everything today, and this is probably going to cause us issues, but it needs to look right or it's going to bother me. So in order to do that, let's just go ahead and build our line there and this line here, and then we can build a line there and this line here, and we can build a line there and this line here. Now we can shift left click and we can drop. Now again, this will put our sorters in, but it's going to need to have the belts built. See, this one did not put sorters on both sides because the belts hadn't been built yet. So make sure all of our belts are built, get all of our sorters. Okay, now with that fixed, we can drop here and drag, and that puts our power poles, our Tesla towers in place. I'm not going to drag on this side because we don't need that much. We're just going to put two in there. And with that last one in, we should see oil starting to come out of our oil extractor, and our process is starting to work here. So let's bring our belt of hydrogen all the way over this way. And we're going to put down, we're going to get a notice from our advisor as soon as we put this down. But we're going to put a tank just so that if things do back up while we're doing research, we have a storage facility for it.
You've built a storage tank, which is more suitable than a depot for storing liquids. Each storage tank can only store one type of liquid. Storage tanks can be stacked vertically. Once the storage tank is dismantled, extra liquid will fall to the ground.
Okay, so that's going to give us the ability to store hydrogen so that if we're doing research that calls for just blue science in electromagnetic matrix, that our plants can keep going and producing hydrogen, and it will be available when we need it. Now, because we are also producing this light oil, we need to put down another place. We need to do something with that. Some people use it for fuel to power generators. We're going to need it, a lot of it, in the future. So we're just going to put it in here. If it ever backs up, we will be able to add more of our tanks, and then we can use belts in the future to drive that wherever we want it to go. Okay, so now you see we are making our energy matrix cubes. So we want to go back to our technology. We are almost done with foundations, so actually we'll just leave that for now because we have some other things that we want to do. But we will go into technology, and since it's so close to being finished, we have less than 30 seconds left. We'll click on technologies. We want to unlock our mecha core, and then we're going to scroll down here and we're going to unlock our drive engine. This is what's going to allow us to fly to another planet, and that is probably the next thing on our list to do once we have that ability. So we're going to grab all of these Tesla or wind turbines.
Research complete.
There's our reclamation research, so now we can make those foundations. So let's keep one of those, one stack of stones. We'll drop all this other stuff off. Just going to check real quick. We have over 120 steel and we have over 120 circuits because we'll need those in just a little bit. Okay, now with our foundations able to be built, we're going to come over here and we're going to use this steel production that we made earlier, because foundations require steel, and we're going to make foundations over here. And we're not going to block off these depots because we need a lot of foundations. Foundations are what you use to pave the world, so we want to pave our world. And it's going to take a lot of foundations. They call for quite a bit of uh, stone bricks and for steel. So we'll drop our power Tesla tower in there, and we will build, oops, we need more belts to build here. And we will take our, oh, we did not limit our steel. We do want to do that. We don't need that much steel. We just want to get 4 stacks of steel. Okay, so then we get our sorters and we bring our steel out to fill up our belt. We take steel in for both of these, and then we're going to take stone bricks in twice and out to our depot. Stone bricks in twice and out all the way to our depot. So if we look at our build menu and we look at foundations, you'll see it takes 3 stone bricks for every steel. So we just want to make sure we're building quickly as we can without hurting anything else. It's at the end of the line, so it's not really going to hurt anything else. Okay, with all of that done, and our research is progressing nicely, our time is getting close to time. We're going to engage flight mode, and we're going to come down here, and we don't have full grid we don't have full sufficiency yet, so we need to create more power. So again, if we go to our power panel here, you can see that we're only generating 14 megawatts and we need 21. So how we're going to fix that is, one of the beauties of that steel research is we can now build on water for these windmills, these wind turbines. So we're going to build those, and we're going to just go all the way around the equator with those. Now the cool thing is our little drones are going to have trouble keeping up, but we can click on these and we can manually build them. So that's a new feature in the new version of the game. Just drag these out. We'll come out a little bit of ways to give our drone something to go back to do, and we'll build a bunch of those, and then as we fly through, we'll just click on them and hold for a second and manually build them. And then our drones will catch up while we're stretching this out a little bit. If you move too quickly while the drones are trying to catch up, they won't catch up. And general consensus seems to be that that's because they aim for where you were, and then when the cycling clicks through for the next cycle of calculating where does the drone want to go, you've moved, so you're not where you were. Basically, it just means don't fly too fast away from your drones, particularly if you're on another planet, because they will have a long flight to get back to you when you leave that planet. Or I should say, not when you're on another planet, but when you're leaving to go on another planet, or to leave another planet. So if you're on another planet and you're ready to leave, make sure you get all your drones packed up before you leave.
Upgrade complete.
Okay, there's our Mecha Core upgrade, which is great. We are getting close to time today, so we're going to finish our loop. It may take us a little bit more to get all the way around the planet, but this is the last thing we wanted to do today. So we'll see what we can get done. Take a little bit longer than 30 minutes, but that's okay. Once this is done, we're researching that flight for the mecha so that we can fly to another planet. And our goal for the next couple of games is going to be working on that other planet. We want to make solar panels. Again, power is going to be critical in these trips to and from other planets. We want to make sure we've got plenty of power on the planet to do the things we need to do. So when we go to other planets, we'll look at this in a little bit. Our wind power generation is not going to be as good as it is on this planet. So we want solar power so that we can get plenty of power on the other planets. And then there's some planets that we'll go to that neither solar...
When out of the building range, hold Shift and click the right mouse button on the ground to move the mecha.
So I had stretched a little too far and we went outside of our building range. And he was just basically telling us that we can't do that. And we have to move our mecha if we want to do that. So we're building these, and there are going to be a few that we're going to come across in the future. We'll keep a stack of wind turbines on us so that we can fill them in. The drones are doing the best they can to build these and keep up, but obviously we're just moving through. Uh, the links will be created eventually. We'll have enough of this linked together that we will get the power that we need, and then as we go through our future building around this planet, we will see that we'll fill in the rest of those gaps that may be there. And eventually we want to put solar panels on this planet as well. It's just wind power and solar power are, much like real life, they're virtually free power. Not quite 100% free, but close enough that in this game we definitely want to use them if we have the materials to build that with. There is a way that you can use stone. Here we are, we're back at our starting location. So there is a way that you can use stone to make silicon. We're not going to do that. It uses a lot of stone. You get 10 stone to make 1 silicon. And that's just too much. Okay, so with that stretch of wind turbines in place, we're going to hit P again, and we're going to look, and now we're back at 100% sufficiency, almost double the power needs. So that's exactly why we did that. That is our session for today. We are a little bit over 30 minutes, but we got a lot done, and we are just about ready to head to another planet. We'll wait for our drones like we were talking about, make sure we get all of our drones back, and we'll head to another planet next session. We'll update our technology research to make sure we're researching the right things, and a couple of things that we want to do before we leave, but we are ready to go to another planet. It has been another great session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're having fun with this. I know I am. Definitely enjoying this playthrough, learning some of the new features of the game. Looking forward to having another playthrough soon after this where I actually include the Dark Fog. But this is... I almost forgot. I did want to give a shout out to a friend of mine. Griffiend is his handle, and he has been a good friend and very, very supportive of me doing all of this. He was very excited when I told him I was going to do it, so appreciate the support. And if you guys are enjoying this, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you'd like to see. If you have questions, if you see something I did that I could do better, I'm always looking to improve, and we will catch up next time. Remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Keep building, team.